Does life have to be like this when you're trying so hard on various projects and your life has been bombarded with the pandemics, and when you thought you have managed your life to get together, shit happens? Okay, so some people know, some people do not know that it is official. Fujifilm has officially declared that their Pro 160NS film stock for color negatives has been discontinued. Along with that, Fuji Velvia 50 has been discontinued, which is 8x10 sheets and 4x5 sheets. That might have saved a lot for people because the 35mm is still being continued to be sold in stores, fortunately enough. So there is actually a twist to this, that the final date of production is varies depending on the film stock. The Fuji NS 160 for medium format will be ending in next year. So there is actually a twist on the final date of production. The 8x10 for Velvia 50 will supposedly end this year in December as of 2021. The Velvia 50 for the 4x5 large format will end in 2023. So that has sort of like a prolonged lifespan in March. While the film stock that I currently use, the Pro 160NS for medium format, will end in next year in 2022 in March. But you guys have guessed it probably, that same as in the Pro 400H, that the what you call the stock just dried up from the start, and the same goes for the Pro 160NS. I cannot get any hold of that film stocks in stores, Amazon, and large what we call distributors in Tokyo as of 2021. So I'm really skeptical right now. This sort of brings me to one large question. So what film stock am I going to be using? What am I going to be shooting with? Rio Murata, what are you going to do? Probably not. Asshole, what are you doing? I'm not quitting. So it's interesting since these small events occur in life and gives us the incentives to probably to do more research of what are the viable options available as of 2021. And there are a lot of great findings along the way, because you sort of increase the amount of knowledge along, because your current film stock is going to be discontinued. But what's interesting is there's a lot of options available still in 2021, and I'm looking at various offerings. So one is definitely lomography. They have the 100, the 400, and the 800 as of 2021. What's interesting is that 800 is hard to get in the United States, but fortunately enough, the lomography 800 is still being sold in Tokyo as of now, and I made a video on it, and I praised it so much, although I only used it once. But you guys who have seen the video know that lomography 800 is godsend in terms of the quality of the grains and the color rendition, similar to the old film stock from Kodak. I don't know what it came from, EC or NS or something, but it's actually at an affordable price compared to Portra 800. So that's actually an alternative that I'm looking into. 400, I was plus and minus in the neutral zone. Nothing to say much about the lomography 400, but what's interesting is lomography's offerings, when you go down one stop, so 100 and 400 is definitely a lot cheaper than the lomography 800, so it's actually a valuable option available as of now. Lomography 100, I actually bought the film negatives. It's still in my fridge. I'm still working on a video. I'm still thinking where to shoot lomography 100. Hold your horses, people. I'm still on it. So, but I'm guessing it's gonna look similar to Kodak's Ector lineup, if I'm right. So, and because it's a really slow speed ISO type of film, it's hard to shoot with an ISO 100 film during the day. So I need to think about that in my later videos to come. But when you look at the other side of the arena, on the Kodak side, there's three options available as of 2021, there's Kodak's like Ektar 100, which I actually sometimes shot with, but I can't get the colors to be pleasing to my eyes. I need to do more trial and error and the post processing in terms of like how to get the colors right. So, but right now it's out of the question because to me it's like really saturated as of now, and I can't get it to look really nice. So that leaves me with Portra 160 and Portra 400. And Portra 800 is out of the question because it's like so expensive, and I know that the Lomography 800 is going to take the Portra 800 spot because it's almost half the price actually. So yeah, it's either going to be the Portra 160 or the 400. But keep in mind, this is another like thing that I found out, that, and it's official too, that Kodak, Eastman Kodak's going to jack up the price prior to the end of this year, or maybe next year in 2022, maybe in January. And this is due to the fact that the key components of making film is getting more expensive, and Portra 400 is like $60 right now. So I think they're going to jack up the price to around $65 or maybe $70 by the end of this year. So, and if they do, I might actually, instead of shooting with Portra 400, I might go with Lomography. But you guys know that the Portra 160 is a lot cheaper than the 400, so that's actually another option to keep an eye on. And I actually never shot with Portra 160, so that's going to be another option available as of 2021. So that's basically the news that I picked up on until recently. And obviously, you guys know, in my future videos to come, I will continue to shoot with the Pro 160NS until I run out of it. And probably in the future videos to come, you'll see me like shoot with various like film types of negatives, color negatives, testing them out to see which one would fit my taste. But it's like really sad, you guys, because it's like really sad to like say out to the open, because you guys know that ever since like Fuji stopped producing the NS160, and it's hard to get by, that means that Kodak's actually the only manufacturer in Lomography but Lomography's like buying stock from Kodak, so I guess it's only Kodak that's making color negatives, and Fujifilm's like out of the what I call the tournament and making like medium format films in general, medium format color negatives in general. They still make the 35mm Fuji Color 100, Superior 400, and various others, but it's like really sad seeing how Fujifilm's like taking one step backward every year or so, and they're like, I guess they're like busy with their digital department, you know, and they're actually doing really well, especially in the digital field. Actually, I use the XT3 as my like main camera to shoot the B-rolls, and they have like really great image qualities. Along with, they also have the GFX line, the only company that's like competing in the medium format as of 2021, GFX 50S2 version 2 and the GFX 100S, which kind of killed phase 1 and Hasselblad out of the water. So I guess they're busy doing that, and I guess it's something you have to like take him for granted, that is the life of film. But film's not dead, you know, and we'll continue to shoot with film negatives, and hopefully they'll probably tinker around with the chemistry. Fujifilm loves to tinker around with their chemistry, same as when they like brought up back the Acros 100. They've brought back as rebranded as Acros 2. So hopefully they'll release a Pro 400H version 2 and a Pro NS 160 version 2 along the way, but I don't know when they're gonna release it, or if they are not gonna do it. So, but that's basically it. So hopefully guys will enjoy this video. If you have any comments, like any advice on how to survive this what I call ice age of film, and if you have any like comments or questions, please leave it in the like areas below. I'm happy to like reply. And yeah, hope you enjoy this video. to be like informing. So we will see you next time. Peace.